Chat, here we go. It's the grand finals. It's Diaz versus Wahvey. And let's address the elephant in the room if you just tuned in. The L and the W on screen is not because I have certain sentiments for certain players, I promise. It is to let you guys know that Wahvey has not lost yet. And that's why he's got a W on his side of the scoreboard. He would have to lose a series and another series in order to be eliminated and get seconds. Diaz, coming from lowers, must win and has to take 2 lives off of Wahvey to finish first. That is where we're at. And I'm excited for another great matchup between two North American, pure-blooded North Americans. Am I right? Nothing's more North American than Canadian Diaz, according to his banner. And of course, American Wahvey. Now, Wahvey has been known historically to have a good matchup against Diaz. I think he might still have a favorable one, but Diaz has gotten a lot more of the recent matchups. Don't pin W and L next to the player's name represents Feer's favoritism. That's just going to be very confusing to people who are just joining. For those of you who watch, I mean, I assume it's the case for a lot of tournaments, but I know specifically for Melee, it's a very standard way to represent who's coming from winner's bracket. Wahvey going to make it 2-1. Wahvey played recently in my tournaments as a part of Team Chat, and he did not clutch up for you guys. I'm trying to remember. Did he play Beast Mode? I think he played Beast Mode. Wahvey versus Beast Mode. Beast Mode able to get the win. Beast Mode not here today in the Cash Cup. Although, you know, I'm not about to say that Beast Mode therefore should have made grand finals through uppers. I think that Beast Mode historically, his matchups against other players would not suggest that he'd be making grand finals through uppers, but I would say Wahvey wouldn't either. Some of the other top dogs here he's had tough times against recently, and yet here he is awaiting the top of the brackets for his #1 challenger in Diaz. People are excited to see a potential Diaz representation for North America. Sure, would that mean, you know, no native North Americans get to play 1v1 on land? But hey, if we want to stop him, we got to put in the work. Diaz getting his boost stolen here as Wahvey works his way in towards the blue net with Diaz. Nothing left over. Diaz seemed like he gave a window of attack. Wahvey was ready to steal it, but the bump saves Diaz. Diaz versus Rawas, 1v1 grand finals. Would go kind of crazy. I would definitely be excited to see that. But I think almost all the matchups would go crazy pretty much no matter what, because it's just so fun to see NA versus Mina in a LAN environment. Both these guys using some empty jumps as play slows down here. The scale trying to tip one side or the other. Can't quite do it. Wahvey's flick sent into the backboard. Counterattack is there. It's fast enough. And it's Diaz with the lead. Does Wahvey play for any team? He does. He plays for Deleted Gaming, is my understanding. Oh, wait, don't. That's one of the changes, right? Did Wahvey move somewhere else? Not on Deleted anymore? I'm trying to remember. Someone in chat will correct me. So I'll just say, yeah, he's still on Deleted. And then if people start spamming that he's not, you'll know I was wrong. Diaz big kickoff win. It actually felt like he could have scored it there. Obviously decided that it wasn't worth the risk and that Wahvey might have made it back. He probably, maybe Wahvey would have made it back. But if he tried to high point it with his little bit of boost, I have a hard time imagining Wahvey saves it. But if he does try and high point it, he's now double jumped, used every little boost he has and gone super all in. So probably the right decision from Diaz to just wait it out, because he could tell, even if I don't score right now, I'm going to be in a really good spot to score eventually, and I'll be much more in control than if I try and go all in here. Wahvey's brought it back to tied. This is indeed Grand Finals. Should we put that in the title? I feel like Grand Finals goes hard in the title, as people know they have only one series to watch, except in this case with double eliminations, it's not always true. Diaz 50 and then forces it in. 33 seconds left to go. No one's pulled away in this game at all. Diaz might have a chance to here on this kickoff. Wahvey able to double jump and send it to the ceiling. Going to be a time waste from Diaz as he goes to back wall. Wouldn't mind a full Diaz dribble, but needs to be careful if he is going to do it, because he needs to save boost. No reason to spend it all and give up your ability to recover. Diaz cuts this one off early, survives the demo, and wins the game almost assuredly by tapping in one more. 6-4. Diaz needs this series win and another one. When I've seen Diaz play similar tournaments back in South America, he has often gone to lower brackets and had to get the bracket reset and then win, but he seems to clutch it out more often than not. Will he be able to do it today? Wahvey sends one into the ground to secure his loss. Game number 1 to Diaz. Game number 2. Long day of Rocket League. Shout outs to Epic Games. I know you could say I'm a shill all you want. Not sponsored, not hashtag ad. For creating the cash cups and giving an opportunity for some fun content and gameplay to be had. And then on top of that, allowing us to hop into the lobbies and stream the games. An improvement over how tournaments and stuff like this were run in the past, if you ask me. Of course, I'm going to be extremely biased, but I think it gets more viewers on the content, gets more people excited about Rocket League. You're trying to tell me not a single person who's able to watch today isn't going to be like, let me go see if I can do a full field back wall air dribble like Diaz. I probably can. I don't think he's that good. And then hops in the game. Type 1 in chat if you've already done that. Diaz popping this over Wahvey as he takes it the distance and taps in the open net. USA has to lose in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. Diaz staring down at Wahvey. Diaz seems to have the edge now. 3-0 here in game number 2. Can he pull away? I mean, this would be good for confidence, knowing he has to win 2 series straight against Wahvey. A lot of 1v1 played in these tournaments to get to this point. The benefits of losing: you get to relax, you get to chill out, you get to stop playing this stressful game mode. No such respite. Does that make any sense for these guys? Sometimes words pop into my head. I'm like, I'm not 100% sure I know what that means. Diaz gonna make it 4-0 though. It works, thanks. It kind of doesn't work when I can't say it confidently. Don't say respite clean for real, especially when I half say it. I'm like, not even willing to commit. It's like, it's just the L no matter what if you're just not going to commit. Isn't it said like respite? I don't think so, but I don't know. Wahvey in a tough spot. We're talking about how to pronounce respite here because he hasn't been able to get one on net here. Fake kickoff for Diaz and another. Oh, not another goal. Good defense from Wahvey. And actually, he's even going to counter. He's on the board. Uh-oh. He has set up the chance at a very popular scoreline here. Diaz with a kickoff win and a reset. Is there something scarier in the game? Wahvey trying to defend it from inside the net. Something that immediately pops out to me is Evo was never trying to do that. When Evo was making saves against Diaz, he was not putting himself in the net around the near post like that. He was always flying across the net as best he could, making impossible reads. I mean, listen, it's hard to encourage or say someone else should be doing. But after we watched Evo's defense, obviously he did end up losing. I think we cannot deny that his defense was solid at many parts of that series. Oh, did Diaz pre-leave? Oh, next. Okay, I saw it. All right, for a second, I did not see the next, and I thought Diaz just said, I win, and left. He's like, I'm not waiting. I won that game. Please, just end it. Game number 2. Diaz and Wahvey. Wahvey gonna score for... Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That felt like a turning point here for Series 1. Could he be in trouble? Is it game 3? Oh, you're right. It is. Yeah, sorry. That my overlay does this on automatically, and I was like confused, but you're right. It is indeed game 3. I'm not hosting the lobby because that's just more involvement than I think I got approved for. They maybe would be fine with me running the lobby as well, but I didn't ask. This is the Cash Cup for Epic. They approved me to be a streamer who watches. Technically, the admins can have the ability to do stuff like pause matches and stuff. I don't know if they told me I can do that, so I'm just not doing it. Because the last thing I want is to pause a game or end it early or something, and then there's controversy, and then Epic goes, actually, you know what? You know how we let you stream that stuff? Clearly, we can't do that because you're just meddling with the games, so we're going to take it away. That is the condition I am avoiding at all costs by making no decisions and just watching the game as a spectator. Okay, sheep. That's fair. Fair criticism. Diaz dodging a demo, wanted to hook this around Wahvey, couldn't get there in time for that. Diaz has missed a couple of these back wall dashes, and great recognition from Wahvey to not get too fancy with it. Diaz is completely out of the play. Just slam that thing off the wall, get it to the center field as quick as possible. There's a wide open net waiting for you. Diaz this time getting stopped by Wahvey, something that we hadn't seen in a while. Wahvey, I'm sure, would rather bring it back here in a reverse sweep than having to play another series. Diaz up on the verge, though, of quickly getting us into the true grand final if he's able to finish this one off. He should be able to score this. Wow, such a passive decision by Diaz. It felt like if he really got behind the ball and tried to move it to an opposite corner, no way Wahvey gets that kind of lateral movement. Going in and out in the save is really hard to get the left and right movement. It's easier to kind of jump back down if you need to. So I would have expected Diaz to just pick a side and place it there to test to see if Wahvey could get that movement. But instead he just went for a very passive decision of just waiting and hoping he could get a 50 that would result in another goal. It didn't result in another goal. Instead, it's eventually Wahvey who scores. Diaz on the kickoff gets the ball in front of the nets. 2 saves in a row for Wahvey. He feels like he's bought himself time to go grab boost, and he has for the moment. But it will be a wall-to-air dribble from Diaz. Wahvey off the ceiling, can't get to the ball. He gets a demo, but Diaz will score from the grave. Generational run from Diaz. Diaz has had a really tough bracket, no question. Nice save from Wahvey, but the landing is awkward enough that the goal is not possible. Trying to get back around the ball. Gets deleted. Heavy first touch from Diaz. He wants to close the distance on the respawning defender, and he will punish. Wahvey also pre-flipping out to the side wall even helps Diaz's case of trying to go quickly. Oh, big kickoff win. In what feels like... Oh, what? I can't explain it. It's point shaving. Diaz bet the under on this game result. I don't know what to say. Diaz had the under on 8 goals being scored. I don't know. He will score now. I mean, maybe he's trying to get into Wahvey's head even more. But my goodness, was that not just the freest tap in ever? Everybody in chat would have hit that in. Diaz clearly electing to just not do it. Diaz at ceiling heights over the top of Wahvey. Off the and one. Gets back to the ball. 6-3. Seems really likely that this one's headed to the second series. Diaz trying to make light work of the first one. 50 seconds to hold on to this lead. Another kickoff in his favor. Diaz takes this one to the ground. 7-3. This feels like forfeit territory. It can feel so impossible, especially when you have another series. It's like, just give me into the next series. But Wahvey not going to do that. Going to continue to try and fight this one out. I feel like one more goal, though, would do it. Wahvey intercepts the Diaz kickoff win. Taps this one over the top of him. Diaz forced him to put too much power on that. And now leaning back for a reset. At this point, you'll need the forfeit because it's over. You might as well wait the time. Wahvey's freestyling as well. He recognizes he lost. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he is still trying. But we'll see. 14 seconds left. He might as well go for a cheeky kickoff. But Diaz delay secures it. Wall to air dribble for fun. What's he got in store for us? Double reset. That's it. Surely Diaz can get more than that. Wahvey doesn't even want to go to a goal replay. He wants to make sure it's 0 seconds if he's going to score it. Series 1 goes to Diaz. We got another one coming right up. No. Wahvey's trying to decide if you're supposed to GG's. No, I think. Like, is it toxic if I don't GG's? Because we have another one. Now the question is, does Wahvey say, hey, yo, you're supposed to be orange team? He does not. He just accepts orange team. All right. Bracket resets in the North American Cash Cup as well. Diaz versus Wahvey, one final series. You will see the two L's next to their names indicate the fact that they have now both lost. Their lives are gone. It's all down to this. Diaz, dude, he's continuing to show that camera work as he sits up on the back wall, peeling what is almost a full reverse cam back to see what Wahvey is up to as he chases him down. Diaz flick to open up the new series. Denied. It feels like Wahvey's got to get something going if he wants to try and finish first here. Diaz going to cancel his front flip as he shoots at an open net. (1-0) lead. Wahvey could afford to have some kickoffs go his way and get something out of him. And that's what happened to instantly tie this one back up. Wahvey, nice mix-up. Delaying slowly, making sure not to just play it into the rhythm of Diaz on defense, who has jumped and forced back down and tries to jump again. Too late. Wahvey has already diced you up. And now he's staring at a lead, something that he hasn't seen what feels like in a long time. It's just been Diaz domination. Mr. Raposo, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the grand finals bracket reset of Diaz versus Wahvey. Diaz will equalize after winning the first series 3-0. We're back into another one. Both these guys now 3 wins away from first place. Kickoff for Wahvey. Another kickoff for Wahvey. Sorry, Wahvey for Diaz. Kickoff for Diaz. It's been a long day of streaming. Both of the 1v1 brackets today went to bracket reset. Guys, did the Sam one as well go to bracket reset? I think it might have. It was Swift Wisty. I did not see the exact details of it. But the competition is fierce today in the 1v1 scene. Wahvey the side flip and the flick to the nets. And he has kept this one within striking distance. He needs to do that. It is threatening to pull away from him. Spoilers for the European tournament. For people who haven't watched that. I'm giving you a pause moment to decide if you really don't want to hear them. Moxie was able to win that one. In the same position as Diaz, coming from lowers. And then getting the 2 straight wins needed. Diaz trying to do the same. Diaz holding that flip until the moment it feels right. And it is not easy to set up the air dribble such that you can just float behind this with no need to use any boost or make any adjustments. Just sit and wait and be prepared to use the flip when it makes sense. Diaz starting to pull away again. Sure, you technically get a fresh start here when you head to a new series. But I'm sure it doesn't feel fresh for Wahvey. Diaz putting a ton of air on that flick. How did he avoid getting demoed? He just gets undercut and rides on top of Wahvey for a while before recovering, and he even flips off of him too. Don't know if we got a reset off of him, but he survives and extends the lead 7-4. Oh, Wahvey. Whenever you just barely miss the wave dash, it looks so funny. Nice pre-flip flick. Hey, that's how you instantly recover. Nothing like a silly missed wave dash into immediate redemption on the pre-flip flick. Diaz gonna make it 8-5. A lot of kickoff goals here as these guys play longer and longer 1v1 days as it continues to go on. His ability to lock in, secure these kickoffs, prevent them from being instant goals, kind of slipping from them. What was that? Diaz just seemed like he was taking a drink of water. Will he be able to make it work for him is the question, as he did not move at all off the kickoff, but quickly started moving about a half second after it ended. Diaz. Oh my goodness. Got way more movement than he should have gotten on the reset. He actually needed less, or needed to fake it and go down. Wahvey was going in and out, but he top shelved it, which is one of the easier places to save when you're going in and outs. Diaz is not skipping replay either. I wonder if he's like wiping hands off, getting sweaty or something, or drinking some water. Even when he gets scored on, he's washing it through. Diaz up 2, trying to go for 4 straight game wins against Wahvey to start this series on the right foot as well. Wahvey went so far out to the midfield. Double jump, bump will connect. Maybe this one's air dribble, but it's nice low height. There's really only one additional touch after the double jump. Wahvey behind the ball. Forced into net as well. 54 seconds. Diaz, oh my goodness, he was expecting Wahvey to dive in. He tried to beat him, wow, by chipping it early and getting the dive to go underneath the ball. Wahvey was a little bit more patient though and read the setup high and is able to score off the double. 45 seconds. That was a big goal for Wahvey in what felt like a moment in which he was going to be out of the game if Diaz was able to possess that kickoff. Now instead, they vie for control with 30 seconds on the clock, and Wahvey has a great opportunity to score this one. Then cheese a kickoff. Why not? Has the air dribble. I'm not sure he got the reset or not. He's going to go for the bump. Diaz makes it back. It was too slow moving. Even though he connected on the bump, that ball took ages to get to the goal line. Diaz going to be able to save it. 10-7. And it's looking like 4 straight here for Diaz. Wahvey, oh my goodness. Nothing is going to be allowed. That would have been more brutal if that was his last second tying goal or whatever that he was going to need, had he not had a swing the other way. Wahvey, I mean, technically still has a chance, but he can't take any time. He has to just shoot. He has to just push the ball towards the net and hope that it just goes in. And if it does, then he can save a second or two for his next attack. Instead, he waits it out, gets taken away. It's all right. The opposite wouldn't have worked either. I think he was just already in trouble. Game 2. Wahvey is running out of time to come alive in this series. If you guys are interested in watching their POVs, I think both of them are live. Diaz RLL is Diaz's Twitch, and Wahvey's is just Wahvey. So should be easy to watch him. As Wahvey gets an air dribble, a lean backflip. Diaz is actually in the right spot. Not a ton of adjustments from that flick, but it does prevent any follow-up from being able to be made. Maybe without that power, Diaz would have cleared it away and there would have been no second chance. As Wahvey gets the kind of start that he needs. And Wahvey will continue that start after a back and forth for control of the ball. Wahvey's going to go off the ceiling. And it's easy to hold that flip to the right moments in those cases. Diaz again watching a real long replay here as he's trying to get ready for this next kickoff. Usually it's not staring down play, especially not like that one. Certainly wasn't close enough for him to feel like he got cheated. Something he's adjusting over there on his end. Diaz trying to just go speed to top right. Went slightly too high. And now Wahvey back the other way. Diaz going for a controlled catch and cut in field as opposed to taking it into the corner, which you'll see a lot of players do. Wahvey somewhat prepared for that. Diaz going for the safe attack, and it's going to work. He actually just got a reset on the ball to push it towards the net, allowing him to dash and recover. As opposed to a more all-in play, he could have shot it harder if he had turned in towards the ball, used the nose of his car. Long shot on the ground. It's going to work. Wahvey gets caught out of position. Diaz sneaks over the top of him, and then that double jump. Wahvey recognized it was too late. Transitioning to the wall and made it so he could not cover the nets. Is this another kickoff goal? It is. Diaz tied it up. There's Wavey's lead erased. Diaz, trying to get an angle. Recognized that Wahvey was going to make it back to it. So instead of shooting, just went for the 50. Credit to Wahvey for making 2 straight saves, though. He recovers and cleans up that one as well. Diaz just takes his time. Knows Wavey's going to back off. He's going to get his possession chance here. Air dribble, though, is fruitless. As Wahvey trying to get a decent 50. These are the kind of 50s that Eva was getting, where even when he dove challenge like Diaz just did, nice placement from Wahvey. Even when he dives, he still manages to get a decent enough play that he buys himself time to recover. Diaz almost did that, but a well-executed flick ends up being the difference, and Wahvey still gets his goal. Diaz out of the corner, going to the ground. Wahvey knows that. Past couple times, it feels like Diaz has gone high. So he adjusts, or Diaz has gone high and Wahvey has saved it. So Diaz adjusts low, and Wahvey saves that as well. Diaz will try again, this time on a lower boost Wahvey, who is recovering later. And a low boost defender cannot save high. So what does Diaz do? Takes it to the ground and sends it like a bullet into the top of the net. It feels like it's on Wahvey to just lead in every game from here on out. If he wants to try and bring it back, is he going to lose 5 straight and need to get another reverse sweep? It's very possible. This kickoff at halfway through the game when they were tied favors Diaz, and he converts on it. So he's right back in the lead as the second half of game 2 ticks down. Diaz up into the air. Wahvey kind of pre-jumped, but he pre-jumped so far away. He's on the goal line. It's not really a place you can pre-jump at. You can see Wahvey just kind of danced around. Came down to the ground. Wow. Wahvey was hoping to undercut and or get a demo. Instead, he just dies. Sacrifices himself for nothing. Diaz! Perfect placement. Sees himself in open field, has a respawning defender, and puts it right over the top of him in the slim window where you can put it crossbar down. Wahvey sending this one down into a ping. Needs to catch some breaks here, and it doesn't seem like those are coming for him. Diaz will lob this one on target. 7-4, minute 34. From the context of the rest of these two series, this lead just feels so much bigger. Wahvey has not shown any indication of being able to compete late in these games. Maybe game one, I think, was kind of close. Otherwise, it's been Diaz taking control in all of them. If he has the lead, he's closed it out. He has the lead right now. And more time are ticking off. No boost for Diaz. No challenge from Wahvey, though. So he's going to get away with it. And then single jump the ball into Wahvey's control. Diaz instantly dispossesses Wahvey once he finally has possession. And there's the next. Wahvey's had enough. We are headed to game number 3. Game number 3 of series number 2. It is a potential 6-0 sweep for Diaz in the grand finals, coming from the lowers if he can get one more win. Wahvey trying to stop that momentum, that 5-0 momentum. And that is a good way to begin game number 3. But at this point, we've seen this before. We've seen leads for Wahvey here and there. He's never able to hold on to him. Diaz is relentless and eventually takes his lead. Diaz off the back wall. Wahvey is interacting with chat. Is that what you're saying? That is interesting to know. Diaz and Wahvey are both streaming. Usually, in tournaments like this, people will start to go, you know, no cam, no mic in the big games. Sounds like the reporting from GC is such that Wahvey is not no cam, no mic. He still has cam, still has mic. And I mean, this is not an easy time to talk to chat when you've been having a rough go of it and you've lost 5 straight and now you're 1 loss away. But at that point, I don't know, at what point do you turn it off? It feels like you're almost accepting defeat slightly, if that makes any sense. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to turn it off now if I want to win. Either way, Teams, thank you for the 7 months prime. I don't think Diaz is using mic or cam. Don't think he ever uses cam. Not sure if he's using the mic or not. He also did a song request. Wahvey's just chilling. I think that's, you know, it's not necessarily the definition of like not being locked or not playing to your best. I remember, I tell this story a bunch, but like Chronic would need to be in voice chats with friends to play his best, to like not overthink it, I think, especially early on. So he'd make sure to get in voice with somebody during a show match. Can be helpful to keep the mental right here. Wahvey is going to have a tough time, though. 1-1. Even that peak early has now been equalized. Diaz right back in control. Wahvey able to get a decent 50. I say that, and instantly Wahvey's the one to get a goal as he's able to take advantage of Diaz getting antsy there in the corner. Diaz past Wavy, easy force in. I thought maybe he was going to ping. A little disappointed that no ping came from it. There's the ping we were waiting for. 2-2. Diaz with the speed, turning on the ball. Wavy is not even going to have a chance to rotate back because it's already on target. Wavy just losing the race, man. He's just waiting this one out, thinking there's a way in the world he can beat Diaz to the ball there while swinging wide. Diaz is not going to allow that. Too speedy right now. Chain dash game on points. (3-2) now for Diaz. Lower scoring game. This one technically in the balance the whole way, but I gotta admit, man, it just feels like we're walking towards the Diaz sweep. Nothing we've seen from Wavy seems to show that he's trying to take over the game. Diaz just still in possession. It's Wavy save after Wavy save. Sure, he's surviving right now, but what is he going to throw at Diaz when he has control? Here's his opportunity. Diaz pre-jumps, low 50. Hey, maybe you just got to be chilling. Maybe you don't need to go crazy. Maybe chilling is the answer, as GC talked about. As here, he's going to do a whole bunch of nothing, and it's basically going to pay off, as Diaz was expecting more. And now a nice read on a fake kickoff. Diaz, though, gets a pretty strong half flip into the ball. Might even be favored here in this position now, although he tried to dive in with his boost advantage. Wavy is not going to be able to get up to this one. Diaz knows he can go for it and get it clean as long as he goes before it hits the ground, essentially. Now Diaz going to try and get a ton of movement on his reset. Didn't do so and didn't get the best recovery ever. Wavy looking at an open net. Wavy has a lead in the final minutes. Maybe, just maybe, Wavy's got it in him to clutch this one out. Diaz is the one watching the replays. He has been watching replays all day for whatever reason. Wave dash recovery, bump onto Diaz to try and prevent him from the early possession, but I still think Diaz is going to get one. He's trying to test. If Wavy's going to go to the corner, he's going to cut it inside even more and punish him for that. So he basically says, you can't go to my corner. You have to back off. Wavy makes that right read as well. With 23 seconds left to go. Diaz, little look at demo. That is that camera work from Diaz, pulling his camera down instantly so he can see where Wavy is. And that allows him to line up the demo to secure the tying goal. 18 seconds left to go. Diagonal kickoff. A volatile one. Will there be any shenanigans? Diaz able to win this one. Wavy slightly delayed it. A save from Wavy to stay alive in this tournament. Diaz out of the corner, flipping to get behind the ball. Can't make anything happen. Two bumps is Wavy in no man's land. Neither one of them has much boost at all. Wavy in and out of the net. Can he make the save? He does! Diaz tried to put as much lateral movement on as possible. Counterattack from Wavy. This should not be in, but it stands a chance, and it will hit crossbar and post. Overtime in game number 3. It feels like game number 6 since it is the 6th game they played, and it will just be a kickoff for the tournament. Diaz takes it. Wavy, his closest game yet. It still ends in Diaz victory. 3-0, 3-0, your North American pureblood champion. North American through and through. Diaz.